Hi, welcome to the second session of SAP HCM course. In this session, we will learn about enterprise structure and financial accounting global settings. Enterprise structure is a portrayal of an enterprise hierarchy, organizational structure that represents an enterprise in SAP system. Enterprise structure is the organizational structure that represents an enterprise in SAP system. It basically consists of some organizational units which are for legal reasons or for specific business related reasons. Organization unit required to manage the SAP system such as company code, business area, plants, profit center, and etc. Organizational units handles specific business functions. As we can see in the diagram, company or group company, company code, business areas are represented as organizational units in SAP system. Now, to have the enterprise structure defined in the SAP system, you need to do the settings for the same. We have to define the company code, and assign the company to the company code. Then we have to define the business area, credit control area, and assign the credit control area to the company code. Now, what does these terms basically means? Let's discuss them in detail. Company is the smallest organizational unit for which individual financial statements can be drawn up according to the relevant commercial law. Group unit or group companies in SAP is called company. A company can consist of one or more codes, company codes. All company codes within a company must use the same chart of account and the same fiscal year. Basically, a group have number of legal entities with them. For example, if we talk about Pepsi have got more than 100 legal entities all around the world. These all entities, if taken up in an umbrella, is termed as group companies, and in a single term we define that as a company in SAP, or we can say group companies. So you can assign all those hundreds of company legal entities to the company, and you can have the group reporting, group financial statements as well for the help of the company. All the company codes within a company must use the same chart of account as already said, and must have the same fiscal year so as to have the financial statement generated. Company code, the smallest organizational unit of financial accounting for which a complete self-contained set of accounts can be drawn up for purpose of external reporting. This includes recording of all relevant transactions and generating all supporting documents required for financial statements. A company code is a 4-character alphanumeric code. In simple terms, a company code is the legal entity for which financial statements are generated. For example, if we talk about Pepsi LLC, it is basically an entity, and the same entity is referred to as a company code in SAP. And without the help of the company code or the legal entities, you cannot have your financial statements, or for that matter any other reports which is related to finance and accounts. As we already know in the practical part as well, you need to file your various legal requirements or external reportings on the basis of the legal entity. The same legal entity is represented as company code in SAP system, and the company code is always been created or defined by the FI consultant in SAP system. So we're doing that after discussing all these topics one by one, and then we'll be looking after these practical things in the SAP system, how we do that. Business area, an organizational unit of financial accounting that represents a separate area of operations or responsibilities within an organization, and to which value changes recorded in financial accounting can be allocated. You can create your financial statements as per the business areas, and you can use these statements for various internal reporting purposes. Now, business area is more of used in external segment reporting. Now what does this mean, external segment reporting? For example, there is an entity and it is in different product lines, and the management wants the reports, the financial statements, the revenues for every product line. So you define that particular product line as a business area in SAP system, and with the help of that you can generate financial statements on the base for that particular product lines on the basis of the business areas. If we take the another scenario, if there is any manufacturing entity and they have got number of plants all around the country or out of the country, you can name those plant as business area, and you can have plant wise reporting of financial statement and other external reporting as well with the help of business area. So business area is a very important part, very important concept which can be used over and above the company code. Business area will not be assigned to any company code, mind it. You cannot assign a business area to a particular company code. It is at a client level. Credit control area. Credit control area is an organizational entity which grants and monitors a credit limit for customers. A credit control area can include one or more company codes. This is used either for payment on account to credit to these payments, or where you did not enter a credit control area, the system could not determine the credit limits. More or less, in general, it means that you put a credit tolerance for your customers, and beyond that tolerance you cannot make a credit sale to them. A credit control area can be linked to many company codes, means one particular credit control area can be assigned to number of entities, but a particular entity or a company code can be linked only to one credit control area. You cannot have more than one credit control area for one particular company code. A credit control area is basically a 4-character alphanumeric code. You cannot have a more than 4-character code in SAP system. So once you create the credit control area, you have to assign that to the company code so that the relationship or the linkages can be settled with them, with the company code. Now, so this has been done as a part of enterprise structure, and in a while we will be doing these in the SAP system once we will be over with the discussion about financial accounting global setting as well. Now moving up to the next part is the financial accounting global settings. In accounting and finance, you must know that all the financial reportings are done on the basis of the fiscal year. So there are certain settings which we need to do. As we can see on the screen, we need to define the fiscal year variant, we need to define the posting period variants, the field status variant, tolerance groups for users, assign the user to the tolerance groups, and then assigning all the above variants which we assigned, created or defined above to the company code. Now let's discuss one by one what these all are about. Defining the fiscal year variant. The fiscal year variant is used to define the fiscal year. You must have a fiscal year which is to be used for your company code. To do this, you must define the appropriate fiscal year. Now you can see the steps for those are basically, first is to define the fiscal year variant, and then we assign that fiscal year variant to the company code so as to have a linkages with them. Now to elaborate further, the fiscal year variant is very important so as to determine fiscal year. A fiscal year basically is a period of 12 months, where months are referred as periods, for which the company produces the financial statements. In SAP, a fiscal year can be a calendar year or a fiscal from April to March, or for that matter any other year, maybe from October to September or from July to June, because it's a universal software which is used all around the world. So you never know which country can have a different year with them. So that is why this diversification is available as you want. Fiscal year determines the number of posting periods which are used to assign the business transactions. So you define a variant On the basis of that variant, the system decides what fiscal year the system would be taking up. So that is what we will be doing over here. A fiscal year variant can be created with 2-character alphanumeric code. Posting period variant. A period within a fiscal year for which transaction figures are updated. Every transaction that is posted is assigned to a particular posting period. Each company code referred to exactly one posting period variant. The steps are basically to define the posting period variant, then we open and close the posting period, we assign the posting period variant to the company code. Now, what is a posting period? A posting period is a period in which you are posting a transaction. For example, if I am in the month of October, basically I would be doing the transactions and will be posting the transactions in the month of October. So that period October is the period the posting is done. Now there is a open and close posting period, which means that which period, which months you want the posting should be closed and nobody could be able to do any transactions in that particular period can be defined, and which posting will be available for transactions to be done. That will be taken care in this posting period variant part. Now another one thing is SAP basically allows a maximum of 16 posting period each financial year. However, as we know, a fiscal year consists of 12 periods, but SAP provides you 16 periods. Why? 12 out of 16, 12 comprises of regular posting period, which we as we know are 12 in a fiscal year, and 4 special posting periods are provided, which are used at the time of tax adjustments, audit postings, any other adjustments at the time of finalization of balance of financial statements. And these special periods are used when all the normal posting periods are closed for adjustments. So that is it. It is not used for a normal day-to-day businesses at all. For normal day-to-day business, we use the 12 regular posting periods. Filled status variant. A filled status variant groups together several filled status groups. The filled status group specifies which fields to be required, optional, or suppressed. For example, in practical life, there are different nature of business transactions that take place in a day in an organization. There could be purchase of raw material, purchase of semi-finished goods, purchase of asset, purchase of services, making payments to the vendors for the purchases. Then again, there could be cash sales, credit sales, cash recovered from customers, or payment received from customers. There could be purchase of assets. There could be sale of asset, retirement of asset, scrap of assets. There could be expenses payment, advance payment, provisions. A lot of different number of business transactions take place. So all these different business transactions, the nature of business transactions, they require different fields to be mandatory, required, or optional. For example, if you are purchasing material, you must be looking forward to fill the quantity in that. How much quantity which are you purchasing? So you must be looking for a quantity filled in the business transaction, so that you can fill the quantity over there. So that is why for that particular business nature of business transaction, we make the quantity filled as a required or a mandatory part, so that the quantity has to be taken up, and in the reports later on we can find out how much quantity has been received against that particular material. In the same way, when you do different other transactions, at times you fill the text so as to for certain clarifications, and at times you want to skip those things. So those text field is kept as optional. If you wish, you can fill it. If you don't wish, you can leave it. Now the next example could be, when you make payment to the vendors, do you need to update the quantity field? No.